across oceans and cities, poems recited under London's flickering lights, paintings once smuggled in hollow books hung proudly in New York galleries. Musicians in Lagos remixed South African chants into Afrofuturist anthems. Welcome to Omar's story Nook, where history gets spicy, legends get a remix, and imagination runs wild. Every tale you hear is a whisper of Omar, echoing across time, culture, and the soul. This story comes from the streets, from the walls, from the lips of dancers, dreamers, drummers who refused to be quiet. Apartheid wanted silence. It wanted control, obedience baked into law. It tried to choke voices, banning books, burning poetry, bulldozing community theaters. But it didn't expect the art. In the alleys of Soweto, hidden corners of Cape Town, exile lounges in London, Lagos, and Berlin, Black South Africans picked up their brushes, pens, and bodies and fought back. Brush strokes became bullets, poems became protest, dance became defiance. Because when speech was banned, the walls started speaking, and the art didn't whisper, it roared. This is the story of how creativity became rebellion, how rhythm became resistance, how culture became confrontation. Under apartheid, the world was reduced to black and white. Passbooks hung like shackles. Homes were bulldozed, yet artists created. Dumile Feni, the Goya of the townships, drew twisted figures aching with pain. He fled to London, but his sketches carried the grief left behind. Gibson Kentridge staged plays lit with fury, each performance a firework. Scripts were banned, actors detained. Still, the curtain rose. Peter Magubane photographed funerals and protests, hiding his roles in buckets under sinks. A single photograph became a rebellion in print. Murals bloomed at night, painted fast with one eye on the patrol vans. Symbols born to outlive bullets. Because even in South Africa, chains couldn't bind imagination. They arrested poets, banned books, burned paintings, but stories bled through. Mongane Wally Serote wrote poems like silk-wrapped bullets, of mothers mourning in silence, of streets soaked in fear. William Kentridge used fragile charcoal to animate collapsing cities, his smudges saying what governments tried to erase. Zanele Muholi turned her lens to queer black South Africans, daring the world to see lives the regime wanted invisible. Underground, the resistance grew. Jazz trios riffing freedom, protest plays masked as gospel services, silk-screened poster passed hand to hand like sacred relics. Art stopped reflecting life. It attacked. It demanded justice. Because in apartheid South Africa, art didn't ask for permission. It kicked the door down. The regime tried to contain the fire, but the flames leapt borders. Across oceans and cities, poems recited under London's flickering lights, paintings once smuggled in hollow books hung proudly in New York galleries. Musicians in Lagos remixed South African chants into Afrofuturist anthems. Miriam Makeba stood barefoot on world stages, singing Sharpeville's sorrow wrapped in melody. They banned her passport. The world gave her another. Atul Fugard's plays shattered silence on Broadway. Black and white actors sharing stages still forbidden back home. Posters flooded European campuses. Steve Biko's gaze haunting cold concrete. Protests erupted across Paris, Berlin, Brussels. Marchers chanting for Soweto. Art made people feel what headlines couldn't. It bridged comfort and outrage. Because art isn't decoration, it's declaration. It is solidarity louder than propaganda, harder to kill than any bullet. By the time the world truly looked, the artist had already painted the truth. In 1994, apartheid's chain snapped, but the echo of struggle lingered. And in that echo, the art kept speaking. South Africa became a country in conversation with itself. Walls once patrolled now bloomed with murals. Bridges were painted with the faces of Biko, Annie, and the students of 76. Where boots once stomped, now jazz floated and poets sang. Photographers captured healing in grandmothers' wrinkles and revolution in young girls' afros. Playwrights staged truths still burning under new freedoms. Visual artists shattered the rainbow, not to destroy it but to reimagine it, critique it, honor it. Freedom didn't erase the past, it invited it into the light. At poetry slams, verses cut through the noise like protest banners. Community choirs sang grief and growth in one breath. Spray cans clicked like prayer beads in youth centers. Museums curated the contraband that once hid in shadows. Because true resistance art doesn't retire, it evolves, it dreams forward. Some stories are painted, some are sung, some are carved into walls no one can tear down. This one? It lives in every color that dares to speak truth. Until the next whispers of Omar, stay listening. Apartheid art resistance, a rebellion in full color.